Hello, hello, and welcome on the third round of the BRS League. And we are in Spain. And with me is the Exe.
Hello, everyone. We are watching yet another round in the BRS. It's round 3, and we are going to see another fight, probably for the leadership in the constructors. Right now, it's being led by the NLR with oh 68 points, and the VEL driver Daniel, who VEL is in the currently second place with 47 points, 21 seconds behind the NLR.
And we're looking now for the guy on the lap. I see Dalek's Power is finishing his lap for now in the Haas. It's looking that it's not a good lap. That's
Well,
P6.
it's still only a bunker after all, like the first lap.
Yeah.
Drivers are getting used to the conditions. Right now, we have a very dry qualifier, a very dry race, so less surprises than we probably some of the driver wished for. Maybe more than. Maybe that's what some people actually did wish for. Who knows? Right now, we have the PEC driver, Adrian Bena, at the first place with the time 11.2.
It's a good time for that truck. And someone went off track. I see. It's a Red Bull. I think that's the Red Bull
Definitely.
that finished already his lap. We have
Yep.
McLaren finishing now. And he's got into P3 for now. With time of 1 minute 11 seconds, 0.5.
Maybe let's talk about the Spain as a track itself. It is 4 kilometers over like 4.6 kilometers like long track. You always see 33 laps over it. It's kind of in the middle of the road when it comes to between different tracks on the F1 calendar when it comes to actual length of it, and it's quite still a difficult track. We have a lot of very fast corners on it. That's why many of the teams usually opt for a very wing heavy approach. And as we could see, someone just lost the control over the car. Well, as you can see, it's kind of a difficult track because mostly of the high speed section, which is what most teams try to um, put most of their effort on when preparing for it. There are two DRS zones with two different detection zones on the two different straights. One obviously very long starting straight, uh, and then the other one is in the second sector going into the third. It's kind of hard to imagine any other regions being sorts of fights on this track, mostly because how long the starting straight is and how, that most of the fights will actually happen on it with it.
Yeah, I agree with that. The main straight is the main point of overtaking on this track, but as not only other leagues can show, but also ERL F1 can show. There are a lot more places where you can overtake. Just it's a lot harder and a lot more riskier.
Right now, we can see most of the drivers already finished their first lap, their bunker lap. Currently in the lead, the Ferrari Adrian Bena,
We
who
have
is,
a, uh,
yep,
'Mercedes' going out.
Ferrari, which is the PEC driver in the first place. Then we have McLaren from the ERT, non-row EVE driver. Then again, Mercedes, no, McLaren. Oh my God, McLaren is in lower. Uh, I'm having the list of the teams on the other screen, and I'm still messing them up. Oh well.
Well,
Mercedes,
uh,
McLaren, it is.
we have the RB on the screen, and the guy that don't have a lap yet is on his out lap, with other drivers starting it also. Oh shit.
Yeah, drivers are currently preparing or on the second lap of the qualifiers. What do you think the strategy will be for the drivers? Like something
I
medium hearts?
I think the medium hards will be the most common strategy on this track. It little depends on the exact weather conditions the drivers will have. Maybe the beginning of the race will be colder, so they will go with the medium then. But when it will be hotter beginning, they could go with hards, so they will not overheat it too much.
Well, definitely, as maybe some of our viewers know, there are many strategies which could work on this track. That's why we are considering it in the first place. There are situations where drivers prefer to actually make a super short, like soft stint early on, and then transfer to a different compound. Since still Spain has rather hard tire compounds, it's kind of viable to actually use stuff. Where they're on most tracks, it's just not a tire good for a race and F124.
Hmm. I see interesting strategies in the RB, or I was wrong, but did the guy with no lap help his teammate? Or or I'm blind? That's that was interesting because he just cancelled his lap, and I think he's starting off again. Yep. So maybe Ryan will get his lap this time for sure because now that's the standing time. The drivers are using the whole track, all the limits, and I think that all fights on this race will be really rough, especially of not much spaces to overtake.
We should also make a note of currently in the P5, Hobby, who was fastest in the second and third sector. So if he manages to actually improve his first one, we can potentially see something very interesting happening here.
Ooh, the RB driver lost control. Maybe actually it's very possible to make that happen. But
Basically,
he
having
also need
started
to just construct the whole lap. So first, not only to improve first sector, but maintain second, third. And the Ryan got into 11th place. And for the 5 minutes left of the session, we have Ferrari on P1, McLaren P2, and Mercedes on P3. That's really interesting. Oh, it does
which is the
change.
PEC and the lower and now SET teams. You can see that drivers, except the SET, which just finished the lap, obviously, kindly. The most of the drivers which were in top like five are actually still waiting for the perfect conditions to go out. Since obviously the track is going to get better still. There is still some time left, and who knows? Maybe they are saving the softs for some reason, you know.
Maybe they predicting that the end of the race will be rough and there will be surprising safety car on the finish, and they are just ready for the sprint.
We can see more and more drivers currently going in to the pit, preparing for the final push.
We have now McLaren driver that is doing his lap, and Alpine crashed. As I see, it's on the pit lane entry. Oof.
Lane
That
entry.
was purple sector for the McLaren driver. Do
And
he
then
have
Lord.
do he have any ERS? And that not improvement. He didn't improve at all.
9. And Lord still is leading the standing, so they can allow themselves to actually start maybe from the further back, maybe allow a different driver take the place, you know?
Yeah. We have a Ferrari that's gone out, yes, that's a P1 that's gone out on the track. Yeah, gone on track. Perfectly in time. So we have now drivers that will go out on the out lap and the last fast lap. I
And we
wish.
will be following the Adrian Bena for the very last lap of the qualification for him. Will
Yeah.
he be able to defend his position? He's currently leading by a 1.5 tenth, with which is kind of a safe gap, especially since it's quite an impressive time uh for the bunker time because he only did one lap so far, which qualified.
Do we have a simulation of the fastest possible lap for now? Oh, and that's not that's invalid lap for the Adrian Benna. He will not improve.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll if he manages to defend it, we will see the bunker, which is
Yeah. I don't
able
know.
to let him stay.
I don't know if retirement on track is good. I think he was just ahead of the driver that was preparing for his lap. What we have? We have a corner Bam on the start of his lap. We'll stay with him for his lap. Hmm. There's a McLaren driver coming out. Yes, but it's absolutely too late for the
It's the same
outs.
McLaren driver we were watching a few minutes ago. Maybe it was like he barely made into the bed and tries to still
That was
make.
a mistake from Cornwall. That's the end of the lap, I think. He have time for another one, but do he have a fuel? Who we have? We have a
It's
finishing
still
of lap by P16 by Ligis, and that's an improvement. P15.
one position up over the crashed Alpine.
Yeah. Oh, and the wow. Oh, there's the Williams coming behind him. There's a Colonel. He doing another lap. He have enough fuel. I think that he will be the last driver finishing lap. So we will stay with him till the end.
We have actually the same time on the second and third position, 209. But still, the McLaren, which is the NLR driver, actually manages to beat it and gets currently the pole position.
Yeah, I was expecting times under 1 minute 11. I'm a little surprised to not see that. Main drivers didn't improve at all after laps. With the corner that is also not improving. He was blocked by a guy in the fifth corner. Yeah, he's coming in.
So we
So
have NLR driver in Leon and the currently P1. Still waiting for the last lap from Alessio, finishing the lap.
yeah, and letting
And then
by
the P2,
finished drivers.
yeah. And by P2 and at P2 and P3 we have photo finish basically what it is. With
But
the exactly same time on the P2 and P3.
but as of rules of F1, the guy that is starting ahead is the guy who did the lap first with that time. So Adrian Benna starting P2 and Bilupi starting P3.
Very impressive show from both NLR driver and the PEC driver. Especially since, as I said, it's a banker. It was a 209 banker.
And now we have the full standing with times. Hmm. What do we have? There are
This is, this is what
surprises.
this is what it seems. Prognosis for a very tight race, considering all three places are very fair. All three places on the start are so close
18.5
to each other.
places penalty, actually.